Hi, this is Omar Qureshi, and I've got an announcement to make. The King is back with back-to-back action movies. After ra.one, now it's Dawn 2. Welcome, Shahrukh.
Thank you, Omar.
Yeah, such a pleasure to talk to you as always.
मेरे दुश्मनों को लगता है कि मैं वापस लौट कर नहीं आऊंगा, लेकिन I'm the king, and that's why I'm back.
The most anticipated film of the year was ra.one. You're happy with the reviews it got?
No, I'm very unhappy with the reviews it got. It kind of was Shahrukh is going through a midlife crisis. Why is it? Take a hike, man. Meet me and I'll tell you. Two films that I think is very cool for me to have done is Devdas and Dawn. Om Puri ji's character says to him that अगर आज तुम्हारी माँ जिंदा होती तो उसे कितना बुरा लगता. And Dawn replies to her, आप मेरी माँ को नहीं जानते.
Tell me two back-to-back action movies, ra.one, then Dawn 2. And now suddenly, after that, there's going to be a love story. So is that deliberate?
Oh, deliberate in the sense that I do the films with deliberation. I mean, I like to do the film that I feel like doing that year. ra.one, I didn't actually put in an action category. It's more of a superhero. Yeah. It's a different kind of action. Dawn is more gritty, fast, sexy, leaner, meaner kind of film. And I mean, Dawn you have to do. You've done one, and Farhan came up with the idea, and of course it'll have action. Yeah. And I think, this one has a little more physical action for Dawn, per se, than the last one. Last one he used to just get his henchmen to do fights. Yeah. So this one we wanted him to be a little tougher also in parts, to know that, where he's reached is because that he's like that. So no, I was planning to do ra.one, I was planning to do Dawn. There was another film in the middle which didn't happen. And ESG's film was on the cards. Yeah. So it's not deliberate. I mean, I felt like doing it because I recovered from an injury. I wanted to do ra.one. As a matter of fact, Dawn's got delayed by a year because of my injury. So it should have happened earlier. But no, there's no deliberation in terms of this is how it should be. Now I do feel like doing a romantic film. Maybe earlier on I didn't. I just finished Om Shanti Om and I feel like doing a comedy. So if that comes along, I'd do it. If it doesn't, then I kind of do two films a year. So I settle for whichever one is. But ra.one and Dawn 2 both are very close to my heart.
But from the king of romance himself, suddenly two movies which are not romantic movies.
First of all, I find it strange. A movie is a movie. I think Chak De wasn't a romantic film. I think Om Shanti Om wasn't a romantic film. I think, for that matter, a lot of films that I've done are not romantic. I think the last romantic film I did, even Rabne wasn't like a romantic film. I think the last one would be Veer Zara maybe. Or even Kuch Kuch Hota Hai for that matter. Veer Zara also was a film spanning periods and stuff like that. So it's not that. I just feel, like I said, I wanted to do a few films which my kids will like. My son is about 14. He kind of likes action more than romance. My daughter also finds it odd if I'm just singing songs. They are this generation kids. So I think they kind of like me to be a little funnier, sweeter, or action, whatever. And these two came along, and both of them are my favorite films in terms of what I wanted to do. Have taken a bit because they're action films, and it's not like in my head King of Romance. Now I'm going back. I've been sitting with ESG, working out scenes to do with Katrina and Anushka, and it's interesting that I feel refreshed going back to that. After a beard and long hair, to be nice and sweet and tell a girl looking deep into her eyes that I love her.
So it feels good, right?
Well, it feels good. It feels always good to tell a girl you love her. So it's nice to be back there. And also, I always believe that Mr. Yash Chopra's films are the gifts of all the hard work that I do. So whenever I work hard, then I feel like, now I want to relax. And what is the best gift I can get? It's to do a ESG film because it's easy, it's fun, you hug beautiful women. You do it with all in nice weather, wear good clothes, and
great locations, great
locations, and it's great fun. I mean, ESG and me are like family, and we kind of understand each other without having to speak with each other. So it'll be fun. I start in about 15-20 days. I really look forward to it, and working with two new actors. Anushka, I've done one film with. Katrina, I've never worked with. So it'll be fun.
Shahrukh, until Dawn 2, the most anticipated film of the year was ra.one. You're happy with the feedback? You're happy with what it achieved at the box office? You're happy with the reviews it got?
No, I'm very unhappy with the reviews it got. I think, and I don't like them for that. And I think I've been told that people didn't like the fact that I marketed so much. So it's like looked down upon the film. As far as the business part of it is concerned, it's done great business. My partners have made a lot of money. I've made money, and that's good. And it should, because it helps me plan other films like that, of that level, take the genre forward. But as far as the younger feedback is concerned, the kids and all, they loved it. I was trying to make a film, and I hope to do it all over again, where parents like it, But I think there were too many people sitting in judgment for the film. And yeah, it's not nice. I don't like that. I won't be able to say it truthfully that I was very happy with the critical appraisal of the film. I think I have very little, I've never been someone who's affected positively or negatively by reviews. I think it's a job and somebody's got to do it. And so it's a job which has been done, and I don't appreciate it. And I mean, it's my point of view.
Yeah.
And some other, I don't take it personally. Actually, I'm not even the one who likes to put figures on my poster or stars of reviewists on my posters. I don't like doing it personally as a producer. So if people do it, I don't think one person's judgment. I make films with love. I do it because I think it's important for me to do films like this. When people sit down, an individual, there was some gentleman, I don't know if you're allowed to say on television, but yeah, he kind of was, you know, he started judging it. He became so personal that Shahrukh is going through a midlife crisis. Why is it? Take a hike, man. Meet me and I'll tell you. I've come and thrown stones at your office. You know, meet me and say this to me. Talk to me. Sit down here, make a film with me, chat with me, and you know, say this to me. I don't think they have the guts to say that.
Critics within the industry?
In terms of?
I mean, there's a lot of criticism within the industry also, because...
I think, you know, I run my race as an outsider, to be really honest. I don't really have too many people that I sit with, chat with. I just do my work, get back home, I spend my time with my kids. So in a certain sense, I'm still an outsider. I make my films. I've been doing that for 20 years. I have some people who love me a lot because I work with them, and I love them back. I really enjoy that aspect. And I've never been someone who sits down and discusses, in spite of what people may think or believe. I'm going to make the films. I want to do what I want to do, and I want to do with the happiness that is given to me as an actor, as a producer, as a filmmaker. So I enjoy that. And everyone has something to say about a film. I have.
It's an opinion.
It's an opinion. Everyone has. And I would not say I respect it or disrespect it. It's there in the air. Like you have virus in the air, like you have chill in the air, like you have sometimes leaves in the air. You don't notice it's there. It's not there.
Planning a sequel?
I would like to, inshallah, yeah, because I've set up a big unit, VFX, which I personally believe is the best in this country or even in Asia. Worked very hard at it for 9 years, the Red Chili's VFX. And I don't want that to go to seed. I don't want that to be wasted because I think it's important. I have a big belief. I've always made films by my belief, whether as an actor or as a producer. And what I want to do is take that step forward and say that we need to have that technology in India. And if I don't do it, after having invested so much time in it and so much passion in it, then nobody else will. I'd like to take it to its limit, what I can do, and I think a lot of young filmmakers should follow suit. And inshallah, we should have this technological excellence which takes our films international. I haven't done any production in it. I have not spent money in it. And I'm just there to reap the benefits. So I thank Farhan and Ritesh for being so kind to me.
Yeah, so we wish for more success for them.
You can't have more success than I already have, Omar.
मेरे दुश्मनों को लगता है कि मैं वापस लौट कर नहीं आऊंगा, लेकिन I'm the king, and that's why I'm back.
Why did the Dawn 2 sequel take so long, after 2006, you know? Such a long period. Was it in Farhan's head, in your head?
1 year it delayed because of my injury. My shoulder was broken. We thought about it. I think we finished it last year. We would have finished last year, but I was injured after My Name is Khan. And we never thought we'll make a part 2 here. You know,
Didn't think of it.
Yeah, we just made the film because you know it was anyway a remake, so to say, with a little difference. And we just made it, and it was very nice that people liked it, and it was very cool for me to do 2 films that I think is very cool for me to have done without any comparison, with full tribute and respect to Mr. Dilip Kumar and Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. I think you can't outdo that, even the filmmakers, and we agree on that. It's Devdas and Dawn.
Oh, yes.
You know, I've grown up watching them, so it's like a, it's like a, you know. It's like a fun thing, you know, can we do it? Oh God, you got this opportunity to do it, so I did it. But we never thought that we'll make a part 2. So about 4 years back, Farhan kind of thought, you know, somebody has written a story for Dawn's second part. And I think they were outsiders, they were not like film writers. And Farhan just mentioned it to me, and then one night he just called me and he said, you know, I'm writing in Taj Lands End. I've locked myself for 30 days, and I've come up with this line where Om Puri ji's character says to him that अगर आज तुम्हारी माँ जिंदा होती तो उसे कितना बुरा लगता. And Don replies to her, आप मेरी माँ को नहीं जानते थे. So I say, oh wow, that's really cool. It's got this strange quality to it that you know about Don.
A little weirdness to the film.
Yeah, there's a strange thing, and I think when we were doing it also, one is to do it in fun, but I've done it with a lot of pathos. It's really sad that you don't know my mom, and I think it's very cool. So just that line makes me want to do the film.
And are you going to make it a franchise? There'll be more Dons?
Farhan, right now, when I spoke to him last, was like little, I need to stay away from Don for a bit. I like Don a lot. I mean, I could keep on playing Don again and again and again. I mean,
It's
if there were a
iconic,
television series, I'd like to do it. But yeah, I mean, if the film is liked, this is a different one. This is the original film for us.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a more straightforward, linear, cooler.
It's not a remake.
Yeah, and it's not got so many trappings of a regular commercial film. It's got this music which is different. It's like really a thriller genre, and very, very hip and cool. So if it is liked, it would give us a lot of impetus, And besides all that, I think the team that makes Dawn, Bauman, Priyanka, Lara this time, Farhan, Ritesh, we have another actor called Nawab now, Om Puri ji. It's really fun to make this film. I noticed this on the sets, that all of us enjoy Dawnisms. We enjoy the fact that Dawn is so cool. And that's really nice. There's a lot of love that, all of us, hey, Dawn abhi kya bolega, kya karega? I remember I was doing a scene with Om Puri ji in the film, and I say something smart ass to him, ki, aapke paas mere paper. I'm sure you have the papers for my release now. And Om ji is supposed to say, or whatever. He's supposed to get a little angry. And he just turns around and says, Arey yaar, how smart yaar. And he just we all look, this is not the line. He says, Mujhe bada acha lag raha hai yaar. So it's he started enjoying it. And all of them do. So it's good fun to work with this team. So I've told them all that whenever we feel like having a break from our usual humdrum lives, we should quickly make part 3, part 4. And we even the other night, we were sitting having dinner, all of us, after one of the promo nights. And we said, I would like to do a Dawn when I'm coming on a wheelchair. Tung, 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 tung. So when I'm 100 years old also. But people have to like this one and then the next one.
They will.
And inshallah, we'll do it.
Yeah, but you like this so much. You also co-produced it. You've done the stunts yourself. So much involvement.
No, stunts I do myself. I mean, that's my job. Whenever I'm asked upon to do something. To me, stunts and dancing is the same. So I do both things a little reluctantly, but I have to do it. But besides that, I didn't co-produce it actually. To be really honest, for whatever it is worth, I don't charge for my films for years. And Ritesh and Farhan are very, very close to me. They're friends, besides being great filmmakers in their own right and their own production house. And so, the first Dawn had this issue that they kept asking me, how much are you going to take? And they were worried. So I said, listen, whatever money you make, you decide and give it to me. And that's how I work. And so again, before we got into this discussion, one day Ritesh tried in his producer way, ki, kya kare? Paisa. And Farhan doesn't talk money, he doesn't talk production. And then I said, come on, don't be silly now, we're too close to be discussing all this. And then they came and showed me the first trailer, and I found out myself that I'm the producer. So I really thank them. It's a big film. It's an expensive film. They haven't taken money from me to produce it. They've done it on their own, and they've made me a partner in the profits in the film. I think it's a very generous, and a very gracious gesture from them. I'm really touched by it. So I haven't done any production in it. I have not spent money in it. And I'm just there to reap the benefits. So I thank Farhan and Ritesh for being so kind to me.
Yeah, so we wish for more success for them. So everyone makes a lot of more money.
You can't have more success than I already have, Omar.
Is it true that you jumped a 300-foot building and Gauri got very scared when she heard that?
I was petrified. And then Farhan told me I'm not to do it. But then when they put up the cameras, you could see me, my face coming down. And there were hundreds of German fans who would come down, and it was the first day, it was bloody cold. And I said, no, I'm full. And I couldn't say no. So I said, okay, I'll do it. Just hanging there at 450 feet. And just, as a matter of fact, very ironic, when I landed in Berlin, we guys were all new on Twitter. So I took a picture of this tall building and sent it on my Twitter, oh, landed in Berlin. And suddenly I was under the tall building. It was the tallest building. And suddenly I was atop the tall building. And suddenly I had to jump from the tall building in a span of about 2.5 hours. And I was like, man, this is not happening. And I'd just come from ra.one. And I'm like, Dawn will be cool. I'll just be slinky and slimy and sexy. Then suddenly I have to jump. And then Farhan said, no, you don't have to jump. And finally he said, you know what? I think we have to. Would you try it? And I didn't want to say no because there were all these people. So I said, okay, I'll do it. But it was extremely scary to take the jump. After I did it, I thought it was okay enough for my kids to do it also. So I suggested to them that if they want to, but they didn't have big enough harnesses for them, small enough harnesses for them.
And you're working with two beauty queens at the same time. You know, Lara and Priyanka, they won in the same year, and now they're both in the same movie with you. You know.
Yeah, and it's really outstanding. The night Lara and Priyanka had come down to Berlin. It was we just chatted about the time. I had crowned them actually.
You had,
Dia
right?
Mirza,
I remember.
Lara and
The one in
Priyanka.
Pune.
Yeah, in Pune, me and Juhi had gone there.
Yeah.
And we just sat and chatted about that, because strangely, though I've crowned them, I've not really worked with them too much.
Yeah.
It's very ironic and weird that, I never got to work with them. And we're meeting after 10 years of their work. So it was quite nostalgic actually.
Yeah.
And then we talked about, and then Lara showed me the picture. And I think that's the only time I don't do pictures with girls, as you know, from your controversial magazine days. But unless it's for a film.
Yeah.
And because I think it's a waste of time for the ladies. So I never do. It's the only time I've done a picture with 3 girls ever in my life, live, is for that. So she showed me that picture with Dia and Priyanka and Lara standing.
All together.
Yeah, we had a great time talking about it, and I feel very close to them.
Yeah. Farhan is back as director after very long. Has he changed after acting, like being in front of the camera? Has it changed him as a director?
A little bit, I think, you know, because Farhan always has been someone who's very, very earnest about what he does as an actor. I think first, let me just put across that he's one of the most talented people. He can sing, dance, write, do dialogues, produce, direct, everything, act. And when he has now somehow experienced all of them firsthand, it makes him someone who understands every part of the job.
Yes, he does.
And doesn't only understand, I think he has an empathy for them. He has, if there is an issue that is with any technician or a creative person, he kind of experiences and understands it himself. So, yes, I think it's made a lot of difference.
Has Hrithik done a cameo?
He has a sequence in the film, He has a sequence in the film. Let's see how it turns out. We don't know if it is going to be in the film or not. So I have to see the final edit on 11th and find out.
You've been spending a lot of personal time also with your family, bike riding with your daughter, reading with your son. So you're enjoying that little more free time away from ra.one?
Yeah, this year I find myself becoming a little more reclusive, I want to be with myself a little more and spend a little more time with the smaller and little pleasures of life. I think I'm letting that go.
Yeah.
And I find, going for a bike ride with my daughter, reading a bit with my son, I find those things a little more attractive than the whole business of dealing with being a star.
And finally, one question from your Twitter fan. I am Pallavi16. She says, where did you take Gauri on your first date?
Must have been in the car. In Delhi, you don't have very many places, especially if you're a low middle class guy. So you just got your car and that was the best place that you could be with. Or maybe to Nirula's. There was a eatery there. I don't know if it's still there.
It's still there.
That restaurant. So I think I took her there and I think I gave her orange tang or something like that. I don't know. I think it must be Nirula's or in the car.
Thank you, Shahrukh. Looking forward to Dawn 2.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure it's going to be a great success.
Bless you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.